Today I started up my Paint 3D as usual, and I got this notification at the top here. You see this red thing. It says Paint 3D won't be available in the Microsoft Store or receive future updates starting on November 4th, 2024. And I'm absolutely devastated by this. If you click on the Learn More link, this is where it redirects you. It's just this article that says like there's a bunch of deprecated features, and one of them is Paint 3D. And this is the only information we have. It says Paint 3D is deprecated and will be removed from the Microsoft Store on November 4th, 2024. Existing installations of Paint 3D will continue to work, but the app will no longer be available for download from the Microsoft Store. If you remove the app, you can reinstall it from the Microsoft Store until November 4th. After that date, Paint 3D will no longer be available for download. Paint 3D was pre-installed on Windows 10, but won't be pre-installed in Windows 11. And then they give you, some alternatives to Paint 3D is Paint, the original Paint. Then the Photos application, which is not, I don't know why they even include, is not an alternative. It's a completely different purpose that it serves. And then you have 3D Viewer. So Photos and 3D Viewer, you can't do, the drawings that you can do in Paint. And the original Paint, you start to think about it, is like, why would they keep the original Paint rather than Paint 3D? Now, a lot of people don't even know about Paint 3D, and I don't blame them. But basically, it's just a better version of Paint. You start up with like the marker, and you can change the thickness. You can change it to whatever you want, and you could change here the colors and a bunch of things. I made a tutorial about this. It's kind of like a funny tutorial. It's not really like super serious. But basically, you just have a lot more power with Paint 3D than you have with Paint. It's kind of just a modern version of the original Paint. One thing I really like in Paint 3D, for example, is that you can drop an image and then you can make it a sticker, and then you can just change the size of it within the Paint window, which is something you can't do in the original Paint. The original Paint, you don't have this sticker option, so you can't keep like the resolution and change this however you want. So if you try and do that in the original Paint, you'll only be able to do it like this way, where you completely mess up the aspect ratio of the image. And of course you have the option here, you can look at your stickers, and then at any point in time, like you can just insert one, then you click on like this stamp thing, then you can insert another one here. It's just a really nice editing tool that we have. And of course, like I mentioned, all these brushes and all these things are just a lot better here, all the tools that you have. It does have some 3D features, but I've never used those and they're not necessary. So yeah, I just want to show you guys some of my creations here. I made my starting soon screen for my yearly stream using Paint 3D, as you can see. And yeah, I made a couple other things like my Camille, how to dodge Camille and Rell W. I made a whole video about this. I'll put in the description, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go where the black lines are, so you kind of dodge it perpendicular to the diagonal lines, the diagonal edges, instead of going backwards. And I also made this thing. I made a bunch of things with Paint 3D. This is just like Z, and the little dot here is his shadow. I don't know if you can see that, but okay, here it's a little bit bigger. Basically, the little dot is where you put the shadow. If you put the shadow in a direct line, like opposite to your opponent, then it's a bad shadow. You have to put it kind of like this, kind of like off to the side a bit, and it kind of forms the triangle between Z, your shadow, and your opponent. That makes it a lot easier for you to land your shadow combos. Anyways, I haven't seen anything about this. I think there's a lot more people that should come out and speak out against it. I don't know where those communities would be, but I think it's really backwards that Paint gets to stay, but Paint 3D does not, given that Paint 3D is literally just a better version of Paint. I think we need more answers, and people need to be more outspoken about this, because this is how we lose the beautiful things that we have in the world. People might think this is like a joke, but like, why would you take a very well-functioning program from the store out of people? It's kind of like what happened to Flappy Bird, right? For Microsoft, I don't know what the reason would be for removing it. This little paragraph is the only thing I've seen, so I don't know. But the only thing that comes to mind is that it must be some sort of monetary, super stupid business reason, where they're worried about Paint 3D taking away some downloads or screen time or whatever from other applications. But the program itself, guys, it could work for eternity without any updates and be fully functional. So the fact that like if you move computers or upgrade Windows or something like this, like you won't be able to use Paint 3D anymore, that's absolutely crazy to me. You guys know I love, all the great programs and things in life, things that are just like focused on being the best possible like product or whatever, instead of all these like distractions. Because when a product or project is good, like you don't even need any marketing or anything. Friends will just use it, love it so much, and then they will tell their friends about the program they just used or the app or the product. But when you focus on all these meaningless things like DEI, diversity, and like how many users you have per second or whatever monthly, focusing on these things just makes your projects worse. And I think this is a massive step in the wrong direction. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.